Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I'm Aaron. I'm a postgraduate student here at London Metropolitan University. I'm just going over some notes from last week's lesson. You know, while I was doing that, I was thinking, maybe, just maybe I should share some of my tips with you guys. I've learned quite a bit since starting my course back in October, and perhaps you are a current postgraduate student at London Met who needs a bit of help, or perhaps you're thinking about studying a postgraduate course next year. But regardless of whatever situation you're in, I'm going to share some of my tips and advice with you, and hopefully they'll help you along the way. So let's get to it. Hi everyone, my name is Aaron. I'm currently a postgraduate student here at London Metropolitan University. I'm studying creative, digital and professional writing as my master's, and I also studied my undergraduate course in journalism here at London Met. So all in all, I've been here for around 4 years now. London Met is very much a home from home for me. In today's video, I'm going to be providing you with 8 different tips and bits of advice on how to deal with postgraduate life as someone who has been studying his postgraduate course. These are some stuff I've learned along the way. Hopefully they'll be able to teach you guys something and give you guys a bit of an insight. Perhaps you are a current postgraduate student at London Met, or you're thinking of studying postgraduate next year. So hopefully you'll be able to take at least something away from this video. Tip number 1. Read into every module you're going to be studying. It's no good surprising yourself or stressing yourself with the amount of work that you're going to do, because you kind of spring it on as a surprise by not anticipating what each module and how much you're going to have to do for that module. So my main advice would be read into the module handbooks that are provided to you on WebLearn. It gives you an understanding of basically where you stand and how much work you've got to put into that module. Like I said, it's no good surprising yourself and then ultimately stressing yourself out of the sheer amount of work that you have to do. And it also gives you a nice balance as well, so you know the kind of workload to expect. It's really important that you brace yourself for that and that you're prepared, because trust me when I tell you, there's going to be a lot to deal with. But by reading into the module handbook, you'll give yourself an understanding of, okay, this is how much I have to do and how you will have to prepare for that. Tip number 2, keep that career goal in mind. This is a bit of an unorthodox one, I know, but it's something I've found personally quite important to me. Your postgraduate course is only so long, and you have to remember that, it could be maybe a year or two, or maybe if it's even longer, but you've still got not a lot of time really. And if you think your undergrad course goes fast, if you think 3 or 4 years just flies by, try doing your MA. The months have already flown by for me. I'll have less than 9 months left until it's done. So for me, I'm keeping an eye on what I want to do next after my postgraduate course, keeping that career goal in mind, what I want to do, where I want to see myself in the future as well. So it's also a good bit of motivation as well to keep yourself going. Tip number 3, reading. Make sure you do it. More than likely, there's going to be lots of reading to do on your master's course, and more than likely, your tutors are going to set some reading for you to do, and then in the following lesson, the prior lesson they've set the reading, and in the following lesson they're going to ask you questions. You're going to have to be prepared to answer them, and it also keeps you ahead as well. And I've also found that the reading can be really useful into understanding certain topics and subjects that you might be studying one week, because they're always going to be related in one way or the other. So it's all about keeping and maintaining a good set of sort of progress that you do along the way as well. So yeah, make sure you do the reading. And the same goes for your undergraduate course, but I can't emphasize how much it really means to be able to do it on your postgrad as well. Tip number 4, there's no need to change your mindset really from your undergraduate course, just keep going. So essentially, the postgrad is a step up. It is from an undergrad, but at the same time, I don't think you really need to alter your mindset too much. You just need to keep the same mindset you had with your undergrad. But let's say, for example, you knew at times you were very slack during your undergraduate course. Make sure you strive to be better on your postgraduate course, because as I've said, it's a step up, but you've done well enough on your undergrad to be on your postgrad now. So keep that same mentality, keep the same mindset as well. There's not much reason to change it. You're still studying, you're still in that zone, but just make sure that you strive to work even harder every time. You want to get a better grade on that assignment, or you want to do an even better final project or dissertation when the course comes to an end. So it's just about striving to be better and do better, but keeping the same mindset from your undergraduate course as well. Number 5, talk to others on your course. This for me is very important, because from my undergraduate course I've made so many great friends who I'm still in contact with very regularly now, and probably will be for the rest of my life. And I think the same goes for your postgraduate course. Obviously, right now, for anyone who is currently studying a postgrad or even an undergrad course, but specifically for the purpose of this video, postgrad, there's probably going to be a lot of people you don't know. The likelihood is you probably won't know anyone in that class. But it's really important that you gauge an understanding of how everyone is and just chat to people. And like the circumstances are right now, they're very difficult. We're living in this online world of just not normal. This isn't the normal world to live in, but I've been fortunate enough to have such a great class where our chemistry as people is fantastic, and we've been able to just talk about pretty much anything. We can float around ideas with each other, or we can just have a chat about random stuff. It's brilliant, and I think it helps you settle in a lot when you're comfortable with the people that you're going to be studying with as well, and sharing an online class or an actual classroom with. But make sure you talk to other people. You know, even if you have to go out of your way to just talk to someone, just try at least. It will really help you settle in, and especially if you're a nervous person or potentially anxious as well, it's really good to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. Number 6, plan your assignments. So this one for me is really important because with the first assignment I had this year, I found it particularly challenging, and I didn't hide from that, to be honest with you, and I'll be open about it here. But what helped me to kind of understand the direction I was going was planning it. So it's really important that you have a plan, because then, like I said, you know what direction you're going to be going in, and you know what next steps you need to take. So this requires starting it early and, you know, planning it and then giving yourself enough time to finish and read over it as well, because there might be one or two mistakes that you've missed out. It's possible because it happened with me. Even when I was so sure after the final sort of draft, I thought in my head, okay, it's done now, but then I went back to it and there were still mistakes. So it's just important you get all of those small details right, and particularly with referencing and making sure that that's all done properly too, because those are so important. And like bibliography, check those things more than once, but give yourself enough time to finish it and then read it, and then be able to give yourself good time to submit it without worrying about the deadline, because that would probably be my biggest pet peeve, is not submitting it within good time, and stressing yourself out is the worst thing you can do on any level of, you know, graduate course. Number 7, make sure you take time for yourself. Like anything in life, you're going to be working really hard, and you're going to want to just, you know, you're going to want to switch off sometimes, because you're putting in the hours of studying and you're putting in the hours of just basic reading. I think also you need to just make sure that you give yourself time off, whether that be just to relax or to go to a side hobby or something. Just everyone is entitled to give themselves a break every once in a while. It's really important, to be honest with you, and I think everyone will agree with that. So the amount of hours you're putting into your assignments, into reading, into going over lecture notes, just make sure that you set aside time for yourself. Well, however you want to spend it. Personally, me, I'll sit and play some Football Manager or something, just might chill out and watch some YouTube videos, but however you choose to spend your relaxation time is completely up to you, but make sure you find that time for yourself as well. It's so important, because you need to switch off and just forget about it sometimes. And finally, number 8, stay positive and keep going. Above all else, we're living the most challenging times I can possibly think of. I never thought I'd be studying a course in these circumstances, but the one thing that's kept me going is knowing that there are going to be ups and downs, like anything in life, but never tell yourself that you're not capable, because that for me is such a negative thing to do, and I am guilty of doing that before, but I've come to realise I've come this far from my undergraduate course into a postgrad now, and I'm still here and I'm still going. So you are more than capable and worthy of studying your postgraduate course. So you've made it this far, just stay positive and just keep going. You've got this. So those are my tips from one postgraduate student to another. Did I miss anything out? Let us know in the comments below. Let us know some of your tips. I'd be really interested to see some of them. But thank you so much for watching. It's been an unbelievably challenging academic year for all of us here at London Metropolitan University and across the UK. Let's all just keep going, and let's remember better days are ahead. There's light at the end of the tunnel no matter what. But until next time, I've been Aaron, social media ambassador, and I will see you soon.